There's so much to do. There's so much to learn. There's so much of stuff that's happening in the online space. But I'm sure that you're somebody who's really stuck right now in understanding what to really focus on. And that is the theme of this particular video. See, if you want to start a business on the internet, there are many starting points that are there. And you know what? Based on whichever level and whichever stage that you're in your business, there is a different recipe for you. And I'll tell you the reason why that most people fail is because they do not understand where they are right now, and they're not able to prioritize what is the most important for them at that part of the journey. So in this particular video, I'm going to go straight to the point, and I'm going to tell you, if you're a starter, what to focus on. If you are a professional, what to focus on. And if you're an influencer already having playing the much bigger game, what do you need to focus on? And you know what? The problem is most influencers, they are creating the content, they are creating courses, they are creating information pieces based on the level in which they are in, without understanding that people are starting off, they need to apply a different recipe compared to the recipe that they are implementing in their business. And that's why this video is going to be breaking all those barriers to help you get more clarity in your next step. So take notes, and let's get into this video. Siddharth, Rajsekar here. As usual, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're watching this for the first time on YouTube, or if you're watching my video for the first time, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please hit that like button and smash that button so that you get notified on future updates that I'm actually going to share. And most of my videos are very, I like to speak heart to heart. I like to look into the camera. I like to talk about practical concepts that you can implement right away. So if you're taking notes, I would really appreciate that. And the focus of this video is all about focus. Like, what do you really need to focus on depending on what stage that you're in. Now, I've been in the knowledge business for over 2 years, and prior to that I've struggled and really not seen results for more than 3 to 5 years until I found a mentor and I followed a system and I started to go through this journey. Okay, and again, the reason why I was struggling was not to blame anybody. It was not to blame the courses that I bought. It was not to blame any of the systems that I invested in. It was to do with me, because I did not understand where exactly I was on my journey, and that helped me actually it didn't help me choose the right things. In other words, I was buying a lot of information, but I was not implementing it based on the situation that I was in. So what I've done in this video is I've broken it into 3 parts. The first part, I want to talk about those who are brand new starters and what do you need to focus on if you want to get results fast. That's the first part. The second category of person are professionals who already have some experience in the game, and if you know what you're doing, it's just a matter of digitizing, and I'll tell you what are your steps. And you have a third category who are the influencers. That means you may already be having an influence online, you have an audience online, you have an email list, and for you the focus is it has to be something different. Okay, so let's start off with the starters. Now, if you're somebody who's brand new, that means you want to start an online business right now and you do not know where to get started, or maybe you've bought a lot of courses but something is not working for you. Here's what I would do if I was going to start off. Okay, now if you're a starter, number one is I want you to focus on learning from one mentor only. Okay, don't buy multiple courses thinking that everything is really exciting. Because see, marketing messages are very exciting today. People can share any kind of snapshots, any kind of results, case studies. Yes, this person has made so much money and all of that stuff. Okay, but ultimately, even though I share case studies of my students, when somebody comes into my coaching system, I give people a very good clarity on what they need to do first. Okay, so your first step is, if you're starting off, is you need to get clear on who you want to serve. Like, what exactly is your topic that you want to serve? And here is about service is more about solving a problem. It is not about how much knowledge you have. It's not about, what kind of information that you have, what kind of awards that you won. In fact, for this, my first step to you is to go through my niche system. Okay, I have a system to actually help you find your niche. You can note down this link, and later on you can go and play around with this, and within a matter of 3 to 10 minutes I will help you find your positioning and your system to actually grow much faster and to get clear on your positioning before you get started. So if you're starting off right now, you need to be clear on your niche. You need to be clear on your positioning. And once you're clear on your niche and your positioning, the next step would be to actually design products and services which are going to be solving a problem in the market. And like in that test, I actually shared there are only 6 problems that people face. People either have a money problem, or they are going through a business problem, or they're going through a health problem, or they're going through a relationship problem, or they are going through a creativity problem, or there's one more, there's a career problem. They want to grow in their career. Just to recap: business problem, career problem, health problem, money problem, relationship problem, creativity problem. Once you choose which problem you want to solve, from there you need to start building an entire ecosystem around that. Okay, so if you're starting off, what you need to focus on is to get clear on your positioning. and to follow one system and one mentor. And I would love to actually help you on this journey because, I've been through that journey myself, and I can give you the shortest and the most clearest path for you to achieve your goal. Okay. So by the end of that, niche clarity, niche system test, there'll be a call to action over there where you can actually buy my course and you can get into my course and you can get started. Okay. So that's what I would recommend for you if you're starting off right now. The other thing you need to do is what not to focus on. So if you're a starter in this space, what you need to not focus on is all the shiny objects in the internet space. In fact, I would recommend that you unsubscribe from all email lists, delete all the applications from your mobile phone, and decide to spend more of your energy in creating things. In fact, I want you to type the word creation in the comment box. When you are in the creation zone, creating of ideas, creating systems, creating curriculums, creating content, when you're in the creation zone, that is where the actual power is. And most people are consumers. Now, even you're consuming this video, but if you can spend 20% of this time, if this consumption is 20% of your time, and if you're able to spend the remaining 80% in implementing this knowledge, you're going to get results much faster. So if you're a starter, if you're a level 1 starter, is to minimize the distractions by focusing on improving your positioning and getting clear on your positioning, and by going through this niche clarity system. And the next step is to start building towards it. In fact, I would give you at least 3 months to set up all your systems, to get clear on your topic, to get clear on your products and services that you want to sell, and to set up all the systems to understand how the game really works. Okay, so do not go and outsource anything until you have understood how it works. People, they say, okay, tell me which agency I can outsource it to for running Facebook ads and all the stuff. I would say do not outsource ads, do not outsource all the basic tools and stuff. Build it on your own. Yes, creative stuff like design work and graphical logo, all that stuff, you can outsource it, no problem. But when it comes to systems implementation, I would recommend that you actually do it yourself and go through that journey of learning so that you understand how it works. Because once you have the independence, you'll be able to move forward much faster. Okay. So for the starters, niche clarity, product design, and then system setup, you need to give yourself at least 3 to 6 months. Okay. Now, the second category of person are the professionals. Now, if you're a professional, how I would define you as a professional is somebody who already knows your topic, somebody who already has proven case studies in your niche, somebody who has a lot of case studies, within your own community of, getting results for other people. You may have your own formula, and you may have a good, basic influence in your own community. Okay. But you may not be having an email list, you may not be having online systems, you've probably done a lot of stuff in the offline world, but you're still not activated in the online world. If you're that kind of a person, then I would call you a professional. That means you know what you're doing, but you're still not there in terms of digitizing your knowledge and automating that whole process. So where you need to focus on is the first step is to restructure your entire knowledge for the digital space. In fact, for you, if you're watching, if you're a professional, just type restructure in the comment box below. Because you cannot expect the same offline methods to work in the online space. You have to restructure and reimagine the whole process or recreate the whole process for the online space. It will be much faster for you because for you already know your subject. Okay. So once you complete the restructuring process, the next step what you got to focus on is on looking at automation elements. Like how can you automate different parts and how you can start building communities. Yeah, digital communities. You may have an offline community, you may have people on WhatsApp groups, but ultimately get them to a Facebook group or get them into your own private network and start to engage more with your customers. So the second step for all of you are professionals is to start digitizing and automating your entire process. And the third one for you, it is the game of scale. You need to start putting more money into advertising, say Facebook ads, Google ads, because yes, you can grow organically. It is important, but it is a little bit more slower unless you already have influence. But if you're able to give a push with marketing and advertising on Facebook and Google, that can help you scale up much faster. So that is the third area where you need to focus on besides revamping your systems and automating all your systems. Okay. Now, the third category of person are the influencers. So if you are an influencer, that means how I would define an influencer is somebody who has a large following. Maybe you have 100 and 200,000 people following you across social media. You may or may not have an email list. So for you, your first priority as an influencer is, even though you may be known, you may be popular, yes, you may be making some money, maybe through consultations and stuff like that, and because you're known in the market. But if you want to really look at building something which is long-term and sustainable, you have to start thinking in terms of ecosystems right from the first word go. Okay. Because you cannot depend on the social media platforms because their policies may change. I know there are many TikTok influencers that I know. They had super influence, and when something happened to the platform, everything dropped for them and they had to get back to ground zero. So use these platforms as leverage points, but your real control center is going to be your own ecosystem. So if you're an influencer, you've got to start thinking in terms of building your own ecosystem. So right now in my ecosystem, I have more than 10,000 paid customers, where each of them have a separate unique login and password into my learning management system, which I have control of. And they have a separate login and password into my own private social network for the VIP members only, which I have control of. So whatever messages I send to my paid members, only they get it. And I have a deeper connection and bonding with my audience. And they're not just like a follower who's just liking me and commenting on my posts, which is good. But here I have more meaningful engagements with my audience because they're all paid customers. Okay. So you got to start thinking in terms of ecosystem. That's your first thing. Second thing is you got to start thinking in terms of automation. How much can you keep rolling out content after content after content and content? I know you may have a process, you may have a team, you may have a system to do all of that, and you may have a great influence online. But what you need to do is you got to start thinking in terms of input versus output. For the input that you're putting into your business, what kind of output are you extracting out of it? I'm not talking about output in terms of likes and comments and followers and stuff. That's anyway happening in your case. But what you need is output in terms of revenues. Okay, for me, just to give you an example, in the last 27 months, 3 crores of input in terms of advertising has resulted in over 14 crores in terms of output in my business. Okay, overall revenue sales. And you know what? I'm not really jumping around on social media posting every few minutes. Now I have teams to help me out with that. But you know what? In my initial 18 months of growth phase, I was not really active on Instagram, for example. I was not even posting anything for Instagram for a long time. I was letting my ads do the work, and I was perfecting my ecosystem. I was perfecting my products. I was perfecting my own I would say automations and the way that I'm able to help my students get results. It is not a popularity contest over here. This is not even a contest, if I should say. It is a game of you helping people get results. So if you're an influencer, you have to shift your focus away from being the popularity contest and move it from there towards building your own ecosystems, creating solid products, using automation, and then of course the scaling part happens. Because for you may already have a good organic reach and organic growth based on your influence that you already have. So for you to be able to generate those sales will be much easier than others because you have the influence, but you've got to reinvest it back into paid advertising simultaneously for you to give that boost to take it to the next level. So for you, the growth will happen much faster, but you just need to change the approach a little bit than just working, content and shouting out every single day without linking into some kind of funnel. Okay, there has to be a funnel and a journey where you get people into. Okay, so this is where the focus needs to be. Just to recap, if you're a starter, you have to focus on building something solid that can actually help you grow. And for that, if you're a starter, I would highly recommend that you go through my niche system, complete that step, get into my course, and start the learning process. Because once you're inside my course, my whole system of education inside my course is very systematic. Okay, I am a very systems-oriented guy, and I like to give recipes. And you just need to blindly follow the recipe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps, 7, 8 steps are given there. Just follow those steps. Okay. So that's if you're a starter. If you're somebody who's in a professional, right? The same thing for you. Okay. You go through that same thing once more. If you want to refine your positioning, get into my community and start digitizing your knowledge. Okay. And start looking at how you can implement automation and systems to scale up much faster. And if you're an influencer, you got to, again, I have many influencers in my diamond membership right now, and many of the big influencers are now realizing the importance of building their own ecosystems versus trying to just depend on social media and social networks. Okay, so if you're an influencer, again, get on the bandwagon. I have like many huge influencers, even like I would say big influencers, even media professionals, media influencers who have come on national television and so on are also part of my community and implementing my same model here at my diamond membership level. Okay, so these are the steps. And if you found this particular video useful, then I would like you to share in the comment box below what are your top 3 takeaways from this video. I want to actually read them, whether you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook. And I want you to understand that this is a game of focus. People are able to focus on the priorities will win. Those who are allured by the shiny objects in the online space will end up losing because they get distracted based on what is the most important thing to do. Okay, I want you to think about your time, your money, and your energy as resources. And resources are very valuable. And even your mind here, your brain power is also a resource. Okay, this is one of the most important resources even for me. So if you can focus this energy on the most high priority actions, there is no way that you cannot achieve success. Okay. In fact, one of my mentors, Dr. D. Martini, says that if you do not fill your day with high priority actions, then if you don't do that, then you will be overpowered by low priority distractions. Okay, I'll repeat that. If you don't fill your day and empower yourself with high priority actions on a daily basis, you'll be disempowered and disengaged with low priority distractions on a daily basis. And that's why this video is a very important video for you to actually go ahead and implement. Okay, so type in the comment box on what exactly you're going to be implementing and what are your top 3 takeaways. I would love to read them, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube. And subscribe to my YouTube channel once again, and follow me on other places so that you can get more inputs like this to help you progress on your journey towards your success and your goals. Okay, wish you all the best. Siddharth Rajsekar once again. Bye-bye.